Can you remember a game like this season where you've had to face that many opportunities and defend as well as you did tonight?
Well, City second half, it's pretty easy, yeah. I think, you know, we obviously didn't have the ball that much. I don't think they created that many chances, to be honest. But yeah, listen, you have to find a way. You have to defend with everything you had, and they have the quality. They are world-class players, especially in the front line, and they can make a difference. And we did well. We need obviously Ali to be outstanding again, classic Alisson. But you know, those nights are also very important towards big dreams. So we have to keep going. On to the next.
Well, PSG had 27 attempts in that game, 10 on target, but Harvey Elliott off the bench to the rescue with his third goal in 3 Champions League games. We can get some reaction now from the Parc des Princes because Joleon Lescott was watching that game this evening, probably shedding a tear at the end there. Jules, do you feel like you've just witnessed a robbery?
Harvey Elliott broke my heart, really, to be fair. I won't lie, I could not believe it. But it's one of those scenarios, we've seen them before, no? When you don't take your chances, dominating is not winning. We know you can be ahead in all the stats. You can outplay your opponent. You can, I mean, I think PSG made Liverpool look quite ordinary at times, certainly with the ball going forward. Defensively, they were solid, and Alisson was amazing, again, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But Salah and Diaz, Jota, even Szoboszlai to some extent, Gravenberch, didn't really look like the usual Liverpool of this season, really, and that's what PSG forced them to do. They forced them to play long, they forced them to not be at their best, and I thought PSG were really outstanding. This is such a fantastic young team, but it's a young team, and you saw today, if it's not happening for you, 80th minute, 85th minute, just see the game out, get a 0-0 draw from here, and instead this was quite reminiscent of the game against Atletico Madrid in the league phase, where they were super dominant, and at the last kick of the game they conceded the second goal from Atletico, who came here and won 2-1, and it looked like they haven't learned much from that Atletico game because the same happened tonight.
For PSG, but I thought they played brilliant, really, in the game. Other than Alisson not being there, they probably would have won the game quite comfortably. Do you think they'll go to Anfield quite confident, really, that they can play the way, dominate the ball? All they need to do, really, is take the chances.
Confident, I don't know, Owen, but they certainly have only one way of playing. And home and away, they always play the same. This is very much the Luis Enrique style. And yeah, it might be more difficult to put all that in place at Anfield because it's away from home, and Liverpool can't have another game like tonight. This is not Liverpool, really. You don't. I mean, some of the time wasting, I was thinking, like, really? So that's not going to happen next week, and I think PSG know it. But they will have to go for it, and that might be costly in the sense that they could go to Liverpool and lose 3-1 because they will have to attack, and they are such an attacking side. And we saw there's a couple of moments in that second half where Liverpool, with a better pass, with a better ball through, could have had chances too, because PSG could be quite opened defensively. But they will go there with their style and believing they can do it. Of course, last season they overturned the tie against Barcelona, but this Liverpool team is so much more resilient and probably even better than the Barcelona from last season.
Jules, Luis Enrique said he felt it was PSG's most complete performance in the Champions League. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think the counter-pressing that we saw tonight, certainly for 80-odd minutes, is the best I've seen this season. All league combined, all teams combined to do this to Liverpool. And again, at times Liverpool played tonight, like it's no, I'm not trying to diss Liverpool's victory. They won, and in the end, they are celebrating, and not PSG. But at times they made them play like some of the Ligue 1 teams who come here and play quite deep and play on the counter. And this is not the Liverpool that we've been used to. So credit to PSG for that. It was still not enough because they could not beat Alisson. And credit to Liverpool for being resilient and keep believing it. And the changes from Slot worked great. But from a PSG point of view, I thought they were outstanding. Literally, apart from that one challenge that Marquinhos lost against Darwin, and then that led to the goal, and Nuno Mendes is a little bit late after to chase Harvey Elliott. But apart from that mistake, they were outstanding, really, and there's so much positive to take. I know it's difficult tonight, so much positive to take from a PSG point of view from their performance tonight. It's a bit cruel, of course it is. It could have turned their way on some incidents in the game too, but this is football. So the boys would have played so many games like this. So now you get together again, and next week you try to turn it around.
As we all know, football is not always fair. Jules, thanks very much for sticking around to chat to us. It's going to be a fascinating second leg at Anfield next week. Thank you. Well, let's look at that Harvey Elliott goal then, Joleon. Was that the biggest smash and grab you've ever seen?
One of them. Definitely from a Liverpool's point of view, who have been outstanding all season. So to see this performance over the course of 89 minutes was surprising in the first instance. But yeah, the goal there, I think PSG are thinking they've done enough.
What about taking Mo Salah off, by the way? Big call. He seems to get it always right.
Massive call.
And again, sometimes this is how you win the Champions League. Defend well, play long. One long ball from Alisson, win the header, and Harvey Elliott into the goal.
There's a few disappointing elements to that goal from a defensive point of view. Like none of the fullbacks were in position. Hakimi's nowhere to be seen, and Mendes is caught sleeping. And me and Owen were talking about the difference between the two goalkeepers. I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but we believe Alisson saves that. And if you're going on,
he did. He made about 8 of them.
Yeah, if you're going on to win this competition, your keeper has to save that.
Darwin Núñez gets a lot of criticism, but what did you think of his decision making?
He did it perfect there. You know, and I think that's all he needs to do, just in those moments when he's going to play. Obviously, he came on and had a big impact on the game, but all he needs to do is win a header. Literally, win a header, play the right pass in the right moment. That leads to the goal. You know, so I think if he probably just simplified his game and slowed it down, I think he could be a huge problem against anyone, because I think he has all the attributes. But sometimes you look at Mo Salah, he gets calmer in the big moments, whereas Darwin, because he's so explosive, he gets quite quick. And I think today he just wins the header. The way to pass is perfect and allows Harvey to take it first time. But I just think, again, we saw it with Inter. You don't have to play brilliant to win the Champions League. You just got to defend well, have a keeper that keeps you in it. And then the boys at the top of the pitch, they'll win it for you if you give them a good chance.
I think we should give some of the credit to Maka as well, because he gave Harvey Elliott a little team talk before the game at the Parc des Princes tonight. What do you think he was saying to him before this one?
Probably just making him aware of the atmosphere, what's potentially coming. Obviously played at this level and performed at this level, and working with these young players. Jarrell there as well, so I'm sure he's just probably trying to pass on a past experience, but telling them to enjoy it, and when you do get an opportunity to have an impact.
And you'd be delighted for him as well. He's had injuries this season as well, but that's the strength of Liverpool, Owen, this season, and probably why they are where they are, that they have players like him that they can bring off the bench, that strength and depth.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott's a brilliant player. Honestly, for the big moments when he comes off the bench, he can affect the game. He's calm, he can play as a 10, but he's a good finisher as well. I think they're so blessed. Klopp left an amazing squad, but they can rotate it. Mo Salah comes off. Mo Salah, most goals, most assists in the Premier League. Obviously, he didn't look happy to come off. But again, then Harvey comes on. And honestly, he just has a feel. That's all football is, players and managers.
It's similar to Real Madrid and Brahim Diaz. We were thinking Jude's a massive miss yesterday, and then Brahim Diaz starts there, and Simeone questions that decision, and all of a sudden he steps up with the winner. So obviously these managers and these young players can contribute.
And for Alisson, the game of his life, probably, he said. Do you think we just saw one of the great goalkeeping performances?
100%. And we've seen him have moments in multiple games making saves like this, but never a collection of this in one game. There's just 7 or 8 top world-class saves, and as you said, Liverpool are a very strong team and able to rely on every aspect of it, whether it's Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Konate as a defensive pair, but tonight they relied on Alisson, and he showed why he's regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world.
What a save that one is. Kvaratskhelia was absolutely unbelievable in the game. It was like a battle between Kvaratskhelia and Dembele against Alisson, and to be fair, Alisson came out on top, but it's just, you know what it is? I think his starting position is always right, so he's able to make the saves, whereas I think for Donnarumma, that one he missed, you know, maybe his starting position's not right, but Alisson, when you have a keeper like that, I've never seen a team win the Champions League without a keeper like that. You need it, and I think that's the thing. You look back, you think you got him, you got Van Dijk, that defence. and then the balance in midfield and Mo Salah and the boys at the top of the pitch. It's a perfect recipe to win this thing.
Yeah, he was absolutely outstanding tonight. It was such a one-sided game, though. However, 27 attempts for PSG in that one, 10 on target. Liverpool, just 2 attempts on goal. The one on target was Harvey Elliott's goal, of course, but PSG dominated in every aspect of that game this evening, guys.
Oh, definitely. And I'd probably slightly disagree with Luis Enrique's analysis in terms of it being complete. If they go on to score, then it's the most complete, but it's definitely the most dominant I've seen them. As I said, every aspect of the game, in and out of possession, that they was controlling it until the vital moment.
And just what?
Look at those stats,
Yeah.
Hans. I mean, this has probably been the best team in Europe I played against in Liverpool. Blown everybody away in the Premier League, and they 27-2 shots. So stats sometimes tell a story, and they did. PSG dominated this game, didn't take the chance that Alisson had the game of his life, but you don't need many chances, I don't think, to win a game like this when the boys are that good. So PSG will be disappointed, but I thought they were, for a young side, I thought they played with real courage, and that would be a heck of a game going back to Anfield.
There will be, but Liverpool 18 unbeaten at Anfield. They've only lost once there all season to Nottingham Forest earlier, so it is a tough test for PSG to try and turn that around.